Just don't be a donkey, because right now you want some real donkey.
It's time for Donkey of the Day.
So if you ever feel I need to be a donkey, man, hit me with the hee-haw.
Did she get Donkey today? Please tell me.
Absolutely. I have become Donkey of the Day.
It's the Breakfast Club, bitches.
You're a donkey.
Donkey of the Day for Thursday, August 27th goes to Kenosha, Wisconsin Police Chief Daniel Miskinis. Now, it's going down in Kenosha. The Sunday police shooting of Jacob Blake prompted protests all throughout the city. If you're just coming home from jail, if you've been out of the country, or you just disconnect from TV and social media because you're trying to stay mentally healthy, I understand. But you probably missed a young man named Jacob Blake get shot in his back several times by the police in Kenosha on Sunday while he was just trying to get in the car with his kids. Now, of course, during the protests, there were riots. Some of the riots escalated into violence, and a 17-year-old young man named Kyle Rittenhouse was arrested after shooting 3 Kenosha protesters with an AR-15. 2 have died. Now, I'm watching this video of Kyle Rittenhouse, and I am confused. I feel like I'm only seeing one angle, and I don't know if I'm watching I don't know what I'm actually watching on this video, because I see this kid and he's running and he falls and it looks like a bunch of people tried to jump him. Someone hits him with a skateboard and he starts shooting. Now, if a bunch of people are running after someone with an AR-15, then something happened. If you don't have a weapon and you are chasing someone with a weapon, then you are going off pure emotion and adrenaline, because there is nothing strategic about that. You know, your Uncle Charla always tells you to move off strategy, not emotion. So chasing someone with an AR-15 and you don't have a weapon, just a skateboard, that's pure emotion. So clearly something happened that we haven't seen. All right. Now, this young 17-year-old white man, after the shooting, after killing 2 people and wounding 1, was allowed to walk right past the police in Kenosha with his AR-15 and nothing happened. He was able to just leave the scene with no problems. Oh, to have white privilege in America is a beautiful thing. White privilege is stronger than Starbucks Wi-Fi. Now, as said earlier, Kyle was arrested after killing 2 protesters and wounding 1. I think he got arrested the next day. But man, when I tell you that folks are coming to this young man's defense, listen to the chief of police, Daniel Miskinis, discuss the Kyle Rittenhouse situation.
Everybody involved was out after the curfew. The curfew's in place to protect. Had persons not been out involved in violation of that, perhaps the situation that unfolded would not have happened. So the last night, a 17-year-old individual from Antioch, Illinois, was involved in the use of firearms to resolve whatever conflict was in place. The result of it was 2 people are dead. This is not a police action. This is not the action, I believe, of those who set out to do protests. It is the persons who were involved after the legal time, involved in illegal activity that brought violence to this community.
Wow. Daniel Miskinis, let me ask you a question. If you gave your son a curfew and he broke his curfew and got into a car accident, God forbid, and broke every bone in his body, would you go to the hospital and tell him this would have never happened if he hadn't broken his curfew? If you had a daughter and she broke curfew and she was assaulted, God forbid, would you tell her this would have never happened if she didn't break curfew? America, that is the chief of police in Kenosha. He's in a leadership role. Forget telling the community that they need peace, that there's no need to bring weapons to protest. You know, if you're protecting your house, your business, you get it, you understand, but there's no need to just be out with your weapon looking for conflict. Forget all that, okay? Forget all that. It's because they broke curfew. That's why that happened. Now, you know and I know that if a black person fighting against injustice, fighting against police brutality, killed 2 people, okay, and wounded 1, Daniel Miskinis would never blame that on people violating curfew, okay? Now, Daniel wasn't the only person making excuses for Kyle Rittenhouse shooting and killing 2 protesters. Tucker Carlson also validated what happened. Let's listen.
We do know why it all happened, though. Kenosha has devolved into anarchy because the authorities in charge of the city abandoned it. So we're really surprised that looting and arson accelerated to murder. How shocked are we that 17-year-olds with rifles decided they had to maintain order when no one else would?
Wow. Interesting hot takes. Okay, black people in America, your Uncle Charla been telling you this, all right? But I want you to listen and listen to me good. When you black in America, owning a legal, keyword legal firearm is a form of self-care. And since people like Tucker Carlson feel like authorities abandoning a community, that sound familiar? Authorities abandoning a community. If people like Tucker Carlson think that justifies folks bearing arms, to maintain order, then let's flex our constitutional rights then. If young men like Kyle are going to be out there with their weapons, then you need to have your legal firearms as well. Okay, you got guns, we got guns too. And I want Tucker Carlson and Daniel Miskinnis to keep that same energy. Okay, we're not violent, thug, anarchists looking to cause trouble. We are proud 2A supporters who believe in the right to keep and bear arms, and it is our right as American people to possess weapons for our own defense. So, because it's inevitable, when it happens, it's going to happen. When someone fighting against injustice and police brutality has to take out someone that's against that, blame it on the people violating curfew. Please. Okay, Daniel? Officer Daniel, please blame that on the people violating curfew. And Tucker, I want to hear you say, how shocked are we that black people with rifles decided they had to maintain order in America after years and years of unchecked violence from police officers? Can we get that same energy when it happens? Because it's going to happen. It's inevitable, America. Please give Daniel Miskinnis, the chief of police in Kenosha, Wisconsin, the biggest hee-haw. Matter of fact, let Chelsea Handler give him a little hee-haw as well.
Hee-haw, hee-haw. That is way too much Dan mayonnaise.
All right.
You think we'll ever get that luxury? Do you think that, when the shoe is on the other foot, because it's going to happen,
No.
You think that when somebody fighting against police brutality and injustice has to defend himself against somebody who's on the other side, you think that Tucker Carlson will say, how shocked are we that black people with rifles decided they had to maintain order
No.
in America?
Not from Tucker
No.
Carlson. Nope.
Not at all. All right. Well, thank you for that donkey today.
Donkey Today is brought to you by the law office of Michael S. Lamonsoff. Don't be a donkey. Dial pound 250 on your cell and say the bull if you've been hurt in a construction accident. That's pound 250 from your cell and say the bull.